Well, I don't think. I mean, last season is bad in terms of result when you look at it, but in terms of points, I mean, we were so close from top 3 of the championship. So I cannot say we had a terrible season. I think it was really up and down, but the same for every other teams. So the approach this year is try and minimize the mistake, try and not have any actually. If you look at last year, if you finished 5th every races, you would have been champion. So I think the key really this year is not to make any mistake, to score points every time we can, and whenever we have the opportunity to win, we're gonna go for it.
New qualifying format, what do you think about it? And if you can explain it in simple words.
I think the new qualifying format is a lot more fair for the drivers. Put it this way, last year you do a good job, you lead the championship or you're in the top 5 of the championship, on the race after you're being put in the first group in qualifying. Being in the first group in qualifying means that you technically clean the track for the other guys behind, so you're always a lot slower. So you go from winning a race to not being able to win the next one. So it was not really fair. This one is a lot more fair. There is 2 groups, 10 minutes or 11 minutes per group. The top 4 of each group will find themselves in the dual phases, like in tennis. I think the best driver will be always on pole. I mean, if you have one driver that is clearly on top of everybody that season and with the best car, he's going to be always on pole if he doesn't do mistakes. So I think it's more rewarding for the teams that work hard, for the driver that work hard, and it's less of a gamble.
And at the same time, do you think it's going to be like as you say, rewarding, but you're going to see more of the same drivers?
Yeah, but that's what we want. I mean, it's very unfair for the drivers that we work hard, we try and have the best car, and to see some guys that should never be in the front of the grid, that find themselves in the front of the grid, it makes us look bad. It's not what we want. Like I'd be very happy if the same driver wins all the races, because that means he does a better job, and that's what I want from motorsport. I don't want, because you do a good race, that you're being penalized the race after. That's not motorsport, that's not sport in general. I think if you are the best, if you are working the hardest, and if you have the best car, you should be always on top, and that therefore I like this new format. I think it's fair, and finally Formula E has done it, because it was starting to be, I didn't like it.
And that's what the fans want.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like I have some fans that they don't understand. Like one race I'm doing very good, and the race after I'm fighting with the last drivers in the grid because I was in Group 1 in qualifying, and the fans don't understand. You're supporting a driver, like he's supposed to be the best. I'm not talking about myself, but like if you support Nick De Vries or any world champion, you're technically quite good, so you're supposed to be always in front.
As yourself?
No, but I don't. You're supposed to be always in front, and as a fan you look at this driver and he's last. 1 race, 2 races is in the last. It doesn't make any sense, so it's also good for the fans to be, they're going to be able to really support the best drivers, and yeah.
And on that same line of thinking, last question is, which pilots, which drivers do you see that are going to be fighting for the championship at the end of the season? I mean, those 4 or 5 drivers.
I don't know. Myself, and the rest, I don't care.